A letter has gone out from Warner Brothers today. This is very, very, very exciting news. So much that I'm drooling all over myself. So I am a huge fan of The Batman. I did 2 videos on it. In case you guys haven't seen it yet, a non-spoiler and a spoiler review. We did the non-spoiler together. No, I did it by myself.
You did?
Did you do anything? You did the live stream. That's what we did.
Yeah.
I did a non-spoiler and a spoiler. I love the shit out of that movie. Here we are. We've got a letter from Warner Brothers. It says, The Batman. Filmmaker Matt Reeves penning the sequel to the hugely successful film. Vengeance returns to Gotham. Burbank, California, April 26, 2022. Warner Brothers Pictures announced today that the director Matt Reeves has begun scripting a sequel to The Batman, which he and Dylan Clark would also return to produce. Well, what do you know? What do you know? That Joker scene wasn't sequel bait at all. Not even a little bit. Not even a little bit. That's just Matt Reeves going, just generally speaking, and the story continues. No sequel planned. No part 2. This is it, the definitive Batman movie. No other Batman installments after this. The Joker's just a hint at what's to... Anyway, the news comes on the heels of the current film passing the $750 million mark at the global box office. I thought it would hit $1 billion, honestly. So I was wrong. I was confident it would hit $1 billion, but
hey, $750 million is nothing to...
Nothing to sneeze at? Nothing to scoff at?
I just
nothing to cough at? Nothing to fart at?
A whole conversation where I just didn't know the term for that. Nothing to...
be snooty at?
Yeah, whatever. You guys get it. Yeah. It's not too shabby.
No, it's not.
That's what I'm saying.
But it's just that with the Marvel films constantly hitting that $1 billion mark, I was really hoping for The Batman. Now, there's a couple of things. The Batman's a 3-hour film, and it's not exactly like, a highly charged action film that's just moving at a clip. It's a slow neo-noir film. And so for it being that and it making $750 million, I'm actually quite impressed. Joker, same thing. I know you haven't seen Joker, but Joker, same thing, because that's a drama. It's not an action film by any stretch, and that made $1 billion. So, that's twice now Warner Brothers has surprised me. I was really hoping for $1 billion because I was like, if it gets $1 billion, maybe there'll be a sequel. So we're getting a sequel anyway. The announcement was made today by Toby Emmerich, chairman, Warner Brothers Pictures Group, and Reeves himself, who joined Emmerich on stage during his opening remarks at Warner Brothers Pictures presentation at CinemaCon in Las Vegas. I'm wondering if this was always the plan, or if it was like, this Flash thing ain't working out too great.
that movie, The Batman, that's doing really well, and Robert Pattinson hasn't done anything weird that's in the news right now. He seems pretty solid.
Yeah.
Why don't we just focus the attention on that?
Robert Pattinson, just do me a favor. Stay the fuck out of Hawaii, please.
Yeah.
Just stay out of Hawaii.
Just stay home.
Don't do anything.
Don't do anything.
Be a bat and stay in your cave.
Yeah.
Could you be a deer? HBO Max recently announced a series centered around Colin Farrell as the Penguin. That guy, that actually has me legit excited. I hope Colin Farrell, I hope he at least gets nominated for Best Actor. At least a nomination. I think he could very well win, but I hope he at least gets nominated.
For Best Supporting.
Best Supporting.
Yeah.
Derived directly from the universe launched by The Batman, Reeves is currently reteaming with J.J. Abrams and DC Universe veteran Bruce Timm.
Bruce!
No! That wasn't how it was supposed to go! On the streamer's upcoming animated series, Batman Caped Crusader. Is that the noir one? Like the really old school looking black and white something?
I don't know. The
filmmaker's prior films include the hugely successful Planet of the Apes franchise, the acclaimed fantasy horror Let Me In, and the sci-fi horror hit Cloverfield, among others. Reeves additional credits I cannot read for the life of me tonight. Well, thanks for doubling down on that. I really appreciate it. As opposed to, no, you're doing all right. No worries. Just
I'm always quick to
you'll be all right.
Point out when you're failing.
Take your time. Breathe through. You'll be all right. No positive fanning of the flame. Just.
Sorry, I only deal in emotional damage with you.
I only deal in negativity, says ACHARA KIRK. Reeves' additional credits include the popular TV series Felicity, which he co-created with Abrams, as well as the series Ordinary Joe, Lift, Mother Android, Away, Tales from the Loop, and The Passage, among others. The filmmaker is represented by CAA 3 Entertainment and Koay Austin. This is very, very exciting news. I think we all kind of knew this was coming. The writing was on the wall and on the cave, as it were.
It's not the most surprising news, but it is very welcome and positive. We could do with more positivity in this time. And
riddle me this.
Oh.
What has a sequel, but everyone is trying to pretend it won't? The Batman. That's what it is.
Really? People were pretending that it wasn't going to have a sequel?
I don't know. The whole Joker scene, that's what really got me riled up. Because I was like, that's sequel bait, yo. There's you look at the comments, even on this video, there's gonna be people like, no, it was never sequel bait. I'm like, I'm pretty sure it was.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was. So, and I watched the Joker scene. You watched the Joker scene. Both of us were like, I can't understand fucking thing he's saying. Half of the lines were lost on me, but anyway, very curious to see how that turns out. I think I've run out of steam here. That's a bit...
What was the character name of the Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Mr. Freeze.
Mr. Freeze.
Yeah.
That's correct, right?
Yes, ACHARA KIRK. Arnold Schwarzenegger played Mr. Freeze in Batman and Robin.
Well, apparently that is going to be the next story.
So Joker's that's just...
Well, I don't know now because they're writing the sequel, so maybe Joker was going to be in it, but I had heard in the ether that it was going to be about Mr. Freeze and like his backstory. Super tragic.
I wonder how you ground Mr. Freeze. Is he a refrigerator salesman? Is he that Asian guy who's just walking along and goes, I love refrigerators?
I love refrigerators.
Oh, that guy.
Isn't that what he said? Yeah, he's just like, that's gonna be Mr. Freeze. He has a Maytag shop that just goes south hard, and so he ends up like creating an outfit for himself out of refrigerator doors and whatnot.
I have no idea because yes, it sounds preposterous. However, Matt Reeves did a fantastic job with the Batman and grounding these characters, like the Penguin.
I just don't know how you ground Mr. Freeze.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah, I guess he has a Maytag outfit. That's the only thing I can think of. I guess you could have dry ice, like he worked at a carnival or something like that. And I don't know where you could go with Mr. Freeze. Anyway, I'm curious to say the least. Matt Reeves did a fantastic job, and I have trust that he can do something interesting. It's just that, like, I'm thinking about it, I'm like, I don't know how you make that grounded and not completely sci-fi. If
that is the direction that they're going, then that will be very interesting to see how they pull it off. Because, you know, with the Penguin... Yeah, I remember seeing him in the Tim Burton movie, and I mean, I loved the Penguin. I loved the character. When he died at the end of the movie, I cried.
Wait, he dies?
The Penguins come and they pull him away. They waddle.
I never saw Batman Returns.
What? Are you serious?
You just ruined it for me. I was so about to watch it like right after we
No,
shoot this.
You're lying. You love Batman. You've seen all the movies.
I have a Batman Returns played back there.
Yeah. Like, what are you talking about? Yeah, and then, like, it was kind of goofy, though, even though I genuinely loved the character. But this Penguin, he's just kind of like, it's like a little nod. So maybe that's the direction that they'll go, where Mr. Freeze is just like a little nod, but he's not going to be, like, full-on, completely, like, metallic looking.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, I gotcha. Okay. A long cup for a walk of water. That's what that was. A long walk for a cup of water.
I only do long walks.
Okay. My interpretation of the Penguin and like how Matt Reeves did it was like, if you were to have a person in the real world, like a gangster type, and he could achieve the moniker Penguin just because of his appearance. How though? Like... Okay, it's not up to us. We're not the producers of the film. I am curious though. They showed us the Joker in the Batman, and so they have to pay that off. So what you're gonna get then is Joker and Mr. Freeze in the same film.
I don't know. I might be actually just spouting absolute bullshit.
That would be a pairing I haven't seen yet. Okay, at least I can't recall it. You know, so that would be interesting. I mean, in terms of the film installments.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, he's penning it right now, which means it's not written, so anything could happen.
I just think it's so cool that Matt Reeves pulled this off. He did what I would consider is the impossible. He made a slow-paced Batman movie, and it made rounding up $1 billion, and now he gets to do anything he wants going forward. Warner Brothers is like, just do whatever you want. Like, it's working. We'll just keep fanning his flame. Go ahead.
You're the new Nolan.
Yeah.
Take over from here. Whatever you want. Blank check. Do it.
That's basically what Warner Brothers did for the Wachowskis. You know, after The Matrix, they bought the property not knowing what they bought. And they're like, okay, we know we got something cool, but we don't know what it is.
Right.
And because the Wachowskis had done Assassins with Sylvester Stallone and Antonio Banderas, and then they wrote The Matrix, but like they wanted to direct it, they didn't know what the hell it was. And so they're like, can you like prove to us that you can direct? So they went and made Bound. And then they came back into Matrix, which just blew the like socks off of everybody. They're like, okay, here's $300 million. Go do whatever you want.
Yeah.
For the sequel, which was a huge chunk of money back then, right?
Yeah.
And so Matt Reeves, you best believe he's getting the biggest, blankest check possible so he can make whatever he wants with the sequel.
He's like Macaulay Culkin in that movie.
Based off of the first film, he strikes me as someone who isn't going to just go ballistic insane with a bloated-ass budget. He strikes me as someone who's still going to try to take the same calculated approach to the sequel. Anyway, very, very excited to see what comes next. You guys, thanks so much for hanging out with us. Let us know what you think is going to be in the sequel. If you're excited for Mr. Freeze and Joker being a duo in the sequel to The Batman. Thanks again for hanging out. I'm Jaby Koay. This is
ACHARA KIRK.
Peace out.